but it's also the soil it's grown in. I start describing the differences, right?
Yeah,
and she's
really
like,
went off.
And she's like, actually, you don't know. And I'm like, oh. I literally stand there stunned. I'm like,
well, now I don't even want to listen to you because you're a fucking idiot. This is really well rendered for a GameCube, actually. I take it back.
looks pretty good.
She looks like a JPEG on top of a picture. But that shot of Link with the camera in the background,
Yeah.
she's giving me fuck me eyes.
Fuck.
I've had some pretty I haven't had too bad customers, but one that really sticks out is I was doing like the wet wall, which is basically like all the like greens, right? The worst part of the job, by the way. Like this is by far the worst because it's,
why?
Because all of it's cold and all of it's wet.
Right.
So it's absolutely horrible. I hate this.
Yeah.
By the way.
I'm gonna pull you a little bit closer to the mic.
And like I'm the only one actually genuinely willing to do this job.
Yeah, you're the
You're the unsung
donkey
hero
of the department.
There's always someone who is willing to do the grunt work.
I'm the donkey of the department, basically.
And you gotta love that.
So I'm doing this right, and it's pretty damn busy. So I'm going, and this lady, and she's like, "Oh, are you going to put out any more like black kale, which is dino kale?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have some on my cart. I'll put it out soon, but this dino kale is also still good because it was put out just yesterday." And she's like, "No, I want it fresh."
Oh,
and I'm like,
Lord.
I didn't know there were people like that at grocery store.
Well, no. This isn't a grocery store. This is a Whole Foods.
That's true. That's true.
I'm like, okay, sorry, ma'am. I'll get that right out for you. And she's like, okay, I'll be back soon. And I'm like, I'll be back. I'm like, okay.
You're not even gonna stand here and fucking.
Yeah, I'm surprised
you're gonna make me go get it. And
but I was cutting celery, and I was just like, I was still doing it. I didn't get to put out the dino kill immediately, right?
Yeah.
Because I was cutting celery, doing other work.
You had shit to do. This lady did not discern your entire workplace environment.
So she came back, right?
Yeah.
But I have the dino kill like on the cart, like ready, and she's like, "Oh, it's not out."
Oh.
And I'm like, sorry about that. Like, my bad. Like, I was cutting celery. Like, here's the dino kill. Like, here's the box. I literally opened the box. I'm like, here it is, right for you. And she's like, next time a customer tells you they're coming back, it better be out just for future reference. And I'm looking at her.
Annoying.
And I'm like, ma'am, I was busy.
Tim's face right now.
I'm sorry I couldn't immediately accommodate you.
Hatred in your
but
eyes.
I was busy.
Tim, you are peeking my mic without. I think you're peeking my mic with how angry you are at the kale one.
And she was like, I understand that, but ma'am, and I was like, ma'am, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm sorry, I was busy. And she's like, okay. She was furious.
Dude.
She was furious that I dared to like be like
step on her
little parade, step on her getting angry at me.
What's a jump button?
The crazy part is that, to me, and this is something that people do in every situation where the word customer is involved, is that they say, I'm the customer. Like, that shouldn't be like a, so I'll wait for you, the worker. It's the,
What's
I'm the customer,
button?
so I'm...
Oh, it's just, there is no jump button.
Yeah, I think it auto
fucking
jumps,
jump.
Right? Yeah,
automatically jumps.
For reference, right?
Yeah.
The Madison Whole Foods does have a basement, but the Morristown one is small, so it does not have a basement. And
there's one in Madison and Morristown.
Yes,
dude, there's one down the road.
There's literally one everywhere. So
Whole Foods are like...
Yeah, no, I know there's one right here. Yeah, I've never been to it.
So this customer, right? She always comes in. She always has
this same woman.
No, a different one.
I knew. Lady.
But she always has something. Yeah. Just there is at least one thing that she has to complain about. So, putting out celery. So again, I'm working the wet wall, right? Just whatever, really getting through it. And I'm putting out celery. And this lady's like,
"Fucking God!" I'm like playing like a child.
Do you have any more fresher celery?
Again with the freshness of the veggies.
And I'm like,
they put them out like every fucking day.
And I'm like, ma'am, this is fresh. It's from the back. And she's like, is it from today? And I'm like,
ma'am, is the one in your fridge from today? You fucking
go to the fucking farmer's market.
And I'm like, yes, it is from today. It wasn't from today, but I was like, yes, it is from today.
They don't really fucking.
Well, then where's the dirt on it? Shouldn't you have pulled it out of the ground about 10 minutes ago?
I know. That's what energy she was on. But it was like, she's like, okay, and she's like, can I have one? And I'm like, go ahead, take one. And she's like, aren't you gonna cut it and wrap it for me? And I'm like,
this ain't the fucking deli.
and I'm like, yeah, okay, I will. And then she's like, this one actually doesn't look that good. Do you have any more in the basement? I'm like, the basement? And I'm like, ma'am, you know we don't have a basement, right? And she's like, what? I thought you guys had a basement.
Ready to argue with you about the
floor plan.
the floor plan of the building you work in.
And I'm like, ma'am, I've been working here for 6 months. I know we don't have a basement.
That's funny because can I see the blueprints?
And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I must be thinking about the Madison one. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay. I gave her a different bunch of celery. I'm like, okay, here's your bunch. And she's like, and then she starts going. She's like, you know, I use celery for juicing. So actually, so I'm just like, I'm like, oh my.
So I need the good one. I do need the good one for juicing.
I'm like,
Otherwise,
oh
my
God.
juice won't be
horrible.
And she starts telling me all about how she juices.
Yeah.
And she's like,
get that trend.
And then I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, I never asked you, like, for anything. I'm just working. And then she's like,
dude, wait for the second swing, and then jump right before it hits the peak.
And so then it gets worse.
So
then she goes to the salad wall, and I don't touch the salads. I don't do anything with the salads, right? She goes to the salad wall. She gets salad. She's like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me." And I'm like,
to you. I'm pointing
and
at Tim here.
I don't know who she's talking to because my boss is there, my coworker's there. So I'm just like, she can't be talking to me. And she's like, "You, sir." And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, she's talking to me.
I mean, you're her sweet little baby darling.
She needs you.
Like, she's really talking to me right now. I'm like, okay.
Mike, this is crucial before the platform goes down.
I'm too cracked.
He's
it only
too
took me
good.
48 tries.
Good.
What?
No.
You did it already? It's only been 18 minutes.
as my underling.
All right, Tim.
So
she calls to you. She says, "Oh,
Timothy,
yeah.
Please, Timothy, I need your help with the salad bar."
Okay, so I go over there. I'm like, okay, like, how can I assist you? And she's like, so this salad, and it's packaged salad. She's like, this packaged salad, it says that it's non-GMO and that it's grown pesticide free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, it does say that.
Why, of course, ma'am.
Like,
you can read.
You're correct. You can read. And she's like, so then, but it doesn't say organic. So is it organic or not? And I'm like, I pause and I'm like, ma'am, it would say organic if it was organic. And she's like, okay, so what's the difference between organic and non-organic? She's like, I thought it was just the pesticides. And I'm like, no, ma'am, it's actually, not only is it the pesticides that go into it, but it's also the soil it's grown in. I start describing the differences, right?
Yeah,
and she's
really
like,
went off.
And she's like, actually, you don't know. And I'm like, oh. I literally stand there stunned. I'm like,
well, now I don't even want to listen to you because you're a fucking idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea what produce is.
Like, what can I say to her? She's like, you don't know.
I mean, Tim, do you juice?
Yes.
You juice? You juice veggies?
No, I juice oranges though.
Oh no, she juices vegetables.
She's
on a league of her own.
She probably knows about 112 times more than you will ever know about vegetables.
That is so sick.
So she says, I don't know, right? So I'm like, I don't even know what to say, so I just start walking away, right? And she's just staring at me while I'm walking away. Like, she's staring at me. I look behind me and she has like a fierce like stare in her eyes.
She got like a needle going into the back of your brain.
I'm like Jesus Christ. Like, I just walk away and then I just walk away from her and then I go back to my car. I start cutting veggies again, and she comes up to me and she's like,
"It's up to you."
And she's like, "You guys have any more fresh cilantro?" And I have finally had it up to here with her. I'm like, ma'am,
I can't blame you for that.
I'm like, ma'am, that cilantro was packed out today. I packed it out, no lie, about 10 minutes ago. And she's like, oh, but like, I'm like, no, I packed it out 10 minutes ago. That's as fresh as it gets. I even sprayed it.
What did you spray with pesticides?
No,
Water.
with water.
Not with non-GMO water.
non-GMO water.
But is
it
this
organic?
organic or what?
And she's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I'm sure."
No, I have significant apnea. I have no idea what happened 10 minutes ago.
And then finally, she leaves me alone. Finally.
Okay.
Why are they shooting him in?
But then there's another customer. He orders like flowers, right? And he orders like a lot of flowers. Cool. That's fine. I don't care. And he says, "I'll be there at 4." Okay. He'll be there at 4. That's cool. Awesome. He comes an hour 30 late.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey sir, you're a little bit late.
All right, true statement. Oh, I think you told me this.
You're late. I'm sorry." And I'm like, and then he just looked at me like with the most perplexed and like sad look on his face when I said you're a little bit late. And I was like, okay. So I was like, "Okay, I'll get your flowers really quickly for you." Come back. My one of the store managers calls me upstairs, and she's like, "Do you remember the customer that you said he was late?" And I was like, "Yeah, I said he was a little bit late."
Oh, you mean the late guy?
The guy that was late.
And she's
You mean
like,
the customer that was here after he said he would be?
"Yeah, like an hour 30, by the way."
By that I mean he was late.
And so she's like, "Yeah, so he had a problem and he complained about you." And I was like, "He complained that I told him that he was an hour 30 late?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Really?"
I was looking at Link and he was staring directly at me, and then I turned to Tim, and Tim has got his eyes boring into my soul.
And I was like, "You're serious, right?" It's like, you know what? I knew he was a bitch from the way he looked at me.
Is that what you said?
I knew he was a bitch.
I
Dude,
genuinely said that to her. I
please
was
tell
like,
me that worked with your boss, because that used to work with my boss all the time. If I went to a customer's house and he was like, "Hey, they said you forgot some food, or they said the food was cold," I go, "Dude, that guy was a fucking bitch." And he went, "Whatever. I don't even care about him, dude." And I would go, "Thanks, Bill."
And I said to her, I knew he was a bitch. She's like, "Yeah, just watch just watch how you say it to people next time." I'm like, okay. Like, really?
Hey, watch how you say, "Hey, sorry, man, you're a little late, so your stuff isn't ready." You were saying he's late just because his stuff wasn't ready, right?
Yeah.
Because he was late, you had to re-prepare his stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this thing.
And he was furious.
I
Well, it wasn't.
shown into your pocket before we fight over there. It's no
It's no ordinary stone either.
ordinary stone, Lois. Lois, that's a rock.
I feel like bartenders have more like autonomy.
Yeah, definitely, because I feel like you can be like, "You're drunk."
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like I kind of own the bar when I'm working up there. Like, but when you're a server, you know, you're working the tables. It's different.
Yeah.
So like usually people don't really get fucking like annoyed with me, which is good, I guess. But one time I was working in like, I was off to like this like a side register, like kind of on, it's on like the far side of the bar, but I'm obviously the only person working right up at the front. Like I'm the only human being behind the bar. So like obviously if you're gonna be fucking doing ordering or whatever, you're gonna be doing it through me.
Yeah.
And I'm in one location, like I'm standing there like ringing people up, and this guy walks over to the other side of the bar and stands there like out of my field of vision, and there's a line, like a visible line where I am of like customers, and this guy fucking like I finish ringing up the person I'm dealing with, don't even see the guy because he's standing in the wrong fucking spot, and I go to ring up the next person. He's like, "Hey buddy," and I turn and I'm like what the fuck? And I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like why are you ringing her up? I've been standing over here for minutes now. And I'm like, what? Like the line? It's like I was like I'll ring you up if you like. I'll ring you up. And I like look at the person. I was like, okay, because obviously the guy was being a real fucking dick. And there was like a younger person. You know, they were always They always. She was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll come ring you up. And then he walks over and he was like, fucking, I'm standing over in the line. You have to pay attention to the line. And I was like, I like just started my shift and I was like, okay. You're right. You're right, sir. My bad. And I rang him up, but like I don't really have to deal with people being, you know, dicks too often. I don't really have any like comeuppance stories because I don't even deal with people like that too often.
I was very generous in giving my first story as a comeuppance story.
Mm.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
I've had so many stories. I had a guy walk up to the counter one time while I was just manning it in the middle of a Wednesday at a cute little fucking twink cafe, just doing normal loser shit like making coffees and stuff. He walks up to the counter, goes over to our like tray. We have like little glass cases of cookies, you know, as you do. And I've stacked the. I was diligent in my stacking of the cookies. I can't open this fucking door, by the way. I
Is there
just keep
somewhere
doing
else
this.
you go through?
I'm supposed to do this.
So I think you gotta put that on, right?
But I'm gonna wait here for a guard to come while I tell this story. I'll just keep spinning the camera for all the fans. And that's gonna give someone a fucking
Riveting
that's gonna make an
gameplay.
8-year-old throw up. But I'm at the counter. I'm making coffees. I'm making hot cocos. I'm making all this other great stuff. I'm making ice creams for kids that want ice creams. You know, I'm taking quick delivery orders on the phone. And this guy walks up to the counter, and I'm on the phone, and he says, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, 1 second, I'm on the phone." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he walks over to the cookie jar, and like a sneaky little Yogi Bear, he sticks his hand into it. He takes the glass lid off the cookie jar that I took about 20 minutes that morning, stacking in like a hexagonal spiral.
Mm.
And
Making it look beautiful.
it looks so good. My boss comes in, says, "Oh, wow." Takes a picture of it and sends it to the group chat. The entire work group chat of like 30 people. He's like, "Jack stacked the cookies great today." And I was so proud of that moment. He walks in, he grabs one from the middle. The whole thing concaves in on itself a little bit, and then he just eats it. He
Right, like
grabbed,
it's a
he
free
lifted it up and he grabbed it with his bare hands and started eating it. And I was like, I put the phone. I was like, "Hey, hey, hey!
What?
Why are you eating?" You
Hey,
can't take.
what?
You took a cookie from the cookie jar, and he went, "Yeah, I'm gonna pay for it." And I went, I have gloves on for that." And he went, "It's the cookie jar."
Put this barrel to the side of the bookcase. You don't have to wait here for a guard. There's no way.
I didn't think so.
There's no way that's the gameplay mechanic that they're gonna go for.
No way.
That's like a Hideo Kojima gameplay mechanic.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know I could climb on the table.
Absolutely fucking genius.
Now, this is the reason Tim is the known
this
as.
can't be what they want you to do.
It has
This
to be.
is why Tim.
I
is
swear to
known-
God,
this
it
is
has
why
to be.
that we've called Tim the gaming squid for like 6
No
years.
way.
This cannot be this is ridiculous. What? What?
There it is.
Look, there's a
There
hole in
it
the
is.
wall.
No,
You
wait,
had
that's
to get
just
the
a
rupee.
rupee.
You had to
No,
get
no, there's
look,
a hole in the wall.
The little tidbit it gave me was like, "Hey, you should probably find a stealth device." The stealth device is not a hole in the wall.
This is unbelievable.
Wow. I just got emasculated by a kid's game.
What? Oh.
Oh, I'm venting.
You're actually venting right now.
It also doesn't help that the mini map it doesn't show this like at all. It's like even like
Yeah,
a,
you're
a
like
space.
off. You're like off the mini.
You're off the mini map.
Okay. I think you're out.
Oh wait, I'm outside of the cave.
out. Yeah.
Can I get my barrel?
You
God,
need
he-
the barrel. You're good.
I don't think so. I think you just gotta leave the
Like he's
wage.
falling asleep.
I know. I'm probably gonna go home soon.
Alrighty. No, this barrel's been here the whole time, dude.
Is he racist? Is that a racist character design?
No, I don't think so. I just.
Oh,
No, they didn't even see me.
I think they did.
Now I have to do the whole prison break sequence again.
If that's true, I'm gonna do it very fast.
Oh, pick up his weapon. Now you gotta beat him.
The fucking whooping stick. Oh, you
threw it.
Oh, fucking hell. The game does not know what to think about that.
You gotta go get it again.
No! You snively mother...
You.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Where did it go?
I'm gonna get the stick. Where's the stick? Where's the stick? I'm gonna get it. I'm like a dog.
Soldier boy.
Is there more sticks in this?
Oh, you're about
Oh,
to have a
there is.
good old fashioned stick beat down. Look, there's another one on the ground.
I know. I just want this guy to drop his stick for a second so I can go pick that one up. Oh, never mind. Oh, he's a sneaky bastard.
Oh!
How do I get the stick back?
You have to,
Fuck,
you
You
have
gotta
to
hit. You gotta
you have
hit
to
B, bro.
Hit B to hit, yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I threw my stick at him and then he dropped his stick.
Yeah, I'll lock back on.
Dark Souls.
I fat rolled this hoe.
He's dead.
Delightful. I wish there was a way to just save. Oh. As if they heard me say it. I think we'll save there.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Save.
I'm a little bit on the sleepy side.
Ugh.